Hi everybody, for today's workout, it's not for time, but it's still gonna be a challenging workout. You guys are gonna move in such a way that's gonna give you this burn and give you this feeling in your arms and your squats and things like that. That's gonna be a little bit different than a WOD that was for time. So it's a good challenging way to take time to be nice and slow and controlled and be more strict in your movements. It's gonna make you stronger at the end of the day. So the WOD that I'm talking about for today is a nice slow and controlled movement of a couple of different rep schemes to make it easy for you to follow here. You're gonna do single arm dumbbell rows, and those are gonna be per arm. So when we're looking at 21, that's gonna be for your left and your right arm. And I wrote down the weight down here. So if you have an object, backpack, dumbbell, kettlebell, 35 pounds would be RX for women and 50 for men as we're going through our dumbbell rows. The dumbbell rows are gonna go in a 21-15-9 rep scheme. So they will descend where the ring dips are actually going to ascend in a 9-12-15 rep scheme. Ring dips, if you have them, use them. If not, we can absolutely do these to a chair or a box or another heighted position there. But the goal for these is whatever you use, whatever height or object for your ring dips, make them deep and strict. So find how low can you go. This is a great one to work on, especially if you're wanting to get those first muscle ups and work on your arm strength in general. So you'll want to be working nice and slow and controlled on those. Mixed in, you'll see your air squat numbers do not change. So those are just air squats without weight. You'll be doing 30 of those. So it'll always go single arm dumbbell rows, followed by your ring dips and then your air squats. So not for time, slow and controlled. See how slow you can go through and maybe pick a movement that you extra feel that burn and then comment and talk about that on the social page. What was most challenging for you, even when you weren't trying to beat the clock? So it's a good one for you guys today. To warm up for those, we're gonna start with 2 rounds of 20 mountain climbers, 15 good mornings, and then 10 inchworms. Today we are gonna make sure that you have a push-up involved at the bottom of your inchworm, followed by some stretching. So we're gonna take some time, if it's a movement that can be done on both your right and your left side, like the reach over I'll show you, you're gonna do a minute per side. You're gonna do a 90-second seated shoulder extension, and then a minute down in the pigeon position. And we also have a skill strength of a Tabata deadlift for today. So let's go ahead and get started with each of those. Mountain climbers, I'm not gonna demo for you guys. You should know what a mountain climber is. We're gonna do 20 of them total. So try to get that knee as high up to your elbow as you can while you're holding that position down on the ground. For the good mornings, if you have that PVC that you're using, you're gonna prop that on your back and you're gonna keep your back nice and flat, maybe a slight bend in your knees, hinge over and stand. You'll be doing 15 total good mornings. Followed by an inchworm that we're gonna crawl our way all the way down to the bottom. We're gonna remain at a standing position, get that really nice and deep hamstring stretch in there as we go down, and then push up from the floor, and you're gonna crawl your way back in. So I'll show you a modified inchworm where I'm gonna crawl my way all the way down and then crawl all the way back up. The only difference in mine is you would do a push-up at the bottom of that inchworm. So you're gonna do 10 of those and go through that for 2 rounds. Then you're gonna do a minute of a reach over stretch. So count to 60, pull that arm over, 60-second, nice deep stretch. Get those arms ready for your ring dips, shake it out, switch sides, and do another minute. The seated shoulder extension stretch is you down on the floor, and you can have your knees up in the air, and I wanna slide my hands out back behind me, and I should feel that stretch in my shoulders. If you don't, go ahead and lean back into it a little bit more. You can also move your legs and get your hips stretched and your quads and hamstrings a little bit more as well, but I should be feeling it back here in my shoulders. So I'm reaching out and extending back. If you still can't feel it, lean back a little bit more. You're just gonna do 90 seconds total altogether for that shoulder extension. The pigeon stretch is going to be a leg stretch, so I'm going to have my legs in a 90-degree position, or my front one, I should say, 90 degrees, and my back leg is trailing. The more flexible you are, the closer you can get to the ground, or if you feel a nice side glute stretch here, then that's probably far enough. Minute per side of your stretches, and you're just going to go through that portion of your warm-up for one time. Let's talk about your single arm dumbbell row. So you're going to use the same weight. You really only need one of those items. So whether it's a dumbbell, kettlebell, backpack, you're going to have your back nice and flat. If you do have a box or something that you could put your knee up on so that you're consistent, you could do that as well. You're going to bring your arm to a 90-degree angle and then fully extend down. So I'm trying to keep my back nice and flat. So the more I'm up like this, I'm not gonna get it as deep of a row. So I wanna be bent over, nice neutral spine as I'm pulling those. But they are slow and controlled. So by the end of that, especially your heaviest round of 21 reps, you should really be feeling the burn at the end of those. So see how you can do with those, going nice and slow. Followed by ring dips. So again, nice, deep, and strict. So just like your dumbbell row, this is gonna feel really similar. Your arm's gonna be moving in a similar way, but now with your body weight. So whatever objects you're gonna use, find the edge of that seat or whatever that might be. Nice, deep, and strict. If normally in a WOD, part of what maybe holds you back is doing the amount of them. With this being slow and controlled, try to go a little bit deeper now. So can you get that where you feel your bicep touching either the rings, or you feel that part where you can't bend anymore? That would be a good idea to go with your ring dips for today. Now, I should mention at the same time, you don't want to pick a progression, since we are going so slow and controlled, that you're at the point of failure or you have to take a lot of breaks. So this should be something that I get through my set of reps, and then I move on to the next movement relatively quickly. So although it's slow and controlled, I don't want to be taking long breaks in between. I really want to feel that burn of the slow and controlled stimulus for today. The next thing is going to be your 30 squats. So again, slow them down, really hit that depth. I want my hip below my knees, and I'm going to nice and slow stand all the way, and I'm going to make sure that my knees are tracking out over my toes, my chest is nice and upright, and my heels are down on the ground. So even your legs are gonna burn without any weight, right? If we slow things down, you're gonna get a whole different feel out of this workout. And you're gonna go through those movements again, following the appropriate rep scheme. Then in your skill strength, you guys have a Tabata deadlift. So if you borrowed a barbell or have one at your house, please use it, load it up. Tabata is 8 rounds of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So pick a weight where you're gonna be able to move through those 20 seconds. It's a very short amount of time. You don't wanna do anything that's gonna take too much of that 20-second time frame there. You could also do this using 2 objects in your hands, like 2 dumbbells, kettlebells, or backpacks. So whatever you have around, totally use those for the deadlift as we go through. So whatever you do, practice that narrow grip. Your feet can be even a little bit more narrow. If I'm using 2 objects, those are gonna be on the outside of my body, and I'm gonna be gently tapping the ground with them, or going to at least my mid-shin. My butt should be coming back first. I should let that barbell slide down, or whatever that object is, down to the side of my leg. I don't wanna be rounding my back, and I don't wanna be upright too much. So I wanna be shielding whatever my weight is. My shoulders should be over that. My knees are coming back, and I'm standing, right? So my shoulders and hips should be moving up and down at the same rate. I should not be straightening and getting that lower back pain by my shoulders moving too quickly. So hips and shoulders rise at the same time. Pick a weight that's safe for you to go through 8 rounds of that, and you're gonna do your total Tabata reps in your score for the skill strength. All right, guys, good luck with today's WOD for Wednesday.